This is the verb estar, which means to be feeling or to be located. And we're going to go over it in the preterite tense. Remember, preterite means it happened one time in the past. Like yesterday I was in the library for 15 minutes, okay? Now, how are we going to remember that a star means to be located or to be feeling? See the word star? Today I'm feeling like a star. Or a lot of stars, Hollywood stars, are located in Hollywood, and a lot of Hollywood stars are located in Los Angeles. So a star means to be located or to be feeling. I'm going to say each form of the verb in English and Spanish, then clap. And I'd like you to repeat after I clap. Here we go. I was, yo estuve. I was, yo estuve. You friend were, tú estuviste. You friend were, tú estuviste. He was, él estuvo. He was, él estuvo. We were, nosotros estuvimos. We were, nosotros estuvimos. They were, ellos estuvieron. They were, ellos estuvieron. This is a very, very irregular verb. This is one of the most irregular verbs in Spanish. Why? Because the verb to be, or the verb estar, is the most commonly used verb in English and Spanish. And remember, if a verb is used all the time, like ser, or estar, or tener, it's going to be very irregular. So make sure you learn irregular verbs, because the fact that it's irregular tells you this verb is used all the time. In fact, we use it so much it gets worn out, like your favorite pair of shoes or your favorite jacket. All right, now, this is a very strange ending. You've got an E and an O, which comes from the AR verbs. Remember the chant for AR verbs? If it ends with an E, it was done by me. If it ends with an O, it was done by Joe. But then you've got ISTE, IMOS, IERON from IR verbs. I call this, no one else does, but I call this a train wreck verb. What happened is it would appear that the AR train smashed into the ER-IR train, and this verb has some endings from AR and some endings from ER-IR. Okay? Now, how do we know which ones come from the air train? Remember that chant I said? This is the most important chant, I think, in Spanish, too. If it ends with an E, it was done by me. If it ends in an O, it was done by Joe. Now, notice, on train wreck verbs like estar, there are no accents. The way I remember it, an accent would not survive the accident. If an accent is on the AR train and another accent's on the IR train and the train smashed, they're not going to survive. Now, Mr. Holt, how do I know that a star is a train wreck verb? I thought all the train wreck verbs had a G in the O form. Tengo, pongo, digo, traigo, hago. This does not have a G in the O form. There are 6 train wreck verbs that have a G in the present tense yo form. Tengo, vengo, I talked about those. But there are another 6. Here's a story to help you remember it. All of the verbs in this story are train wreck verbs. A mom and dad say to their 6-year-old son, I want you to know for a fact that walking, driving, or even being located on train tracks can't produce accidents. Let me tell you that story again. Parents say to their son, because they live near the train tracks, son, I want you to know for a fact that walking, driving, or even being located on train tracks can't produce accidents. All those verbs, to want, to know for a fact, to walk, to drive, to be located, a star, to be able, and to cause, are all train wreck verbs. Okay? Kind of a long explanation, but this is a very, very regular, very important verb, a star in the preterite.